Hello, Waffle Maniacs. Now I'm here back in the Waffleshed to waffle on about the upcoming UBW Square One show, We Will Rock You. With the show seemingly themed around a certain rock band, I'll be dropping in the names of some killer Queen tracks into the mix. See how many you can spot. 5 matches plus much more is scheduled to take place. So let's rush headlong into the waffling. First up is a grudge match, the first and by no means the last on this card, but this one promises to be potentially the messiest. Bad blood has been building for months between David Kaiser and Memes, the self-styled true legacy of UBW. Stemming from Havoc in the Heat back in June, where Scandal, the Kaiser did the right thing whilst refereeing and stopped the legacy title match between Memes and Arthur Scarrow. Hello, Arthur Scarrow! Due to an injury, and therefore costing Memes, in his opinion, the title. Since then, the PWI 500th... Oh, hang on. That's someone called Serial Man now. Looks like you've got to change up that intro music, Mimo. Although it does say Mims at 100, but that's M-I-M-S, not M-E-M-E-S. And Charles Crowley at 405. But no need of jealousy of your former Show Memes teammate, right, Memes? I guess it's now #1 contender to the PWI 500th. So 501? I guess it's as good as nowhere, really. Anyway, since Havoc in the Heat, the former PWI 500th best wrestler in the world has been putting the Kaiser under pressure, whether in training with backhanded comments or even RKOs, or in pushing the newcomer into combat against more experienced, if cheaty, opponents. Looking at you, Tony Kyle. Since then, things have come to a head at the UBW 12th anniversary show, where DK was ousted by Memes in the Morris Coyle Memorial Battle Royal. And the Kaiser Chief's aim since that point has been one thing: to get his revenge. Now, even if it's not a breakthrough win for the gentleman, if he keeps his promise, there'll be broken teeth for his opponent. That'd certainly wipe a smile off Memo's face. Now, I'd be a liar if I was to say that I wasn't concerned about the outcome of this next match. Stevenage, Mexico's local luchador El Jantonio has so far had a 2025 to forget. It's a hard life when you can't catch a break, but at his lowest ebb, he's decided to surround himself with good company and ask them to save me from this predicament. Enter stage left not only his Square One Superdor teammate, the Red Falcon, but also a new mentor in the form of Hustle Malone. Now, Malone knows his way around winning streaks and indomitable runs, having done so at the very top of many promotions across the country. And with his knowledge of how to play the game added to the high-flying feats of this duo, I think we're going to see a shift in both the body language and fortunes for LJ. Interestingly, the Superdors opponents here are the minions of the man who supplanted Hustle from his last project at UBW, the Typecast. These minions are the new Square One champion Freddie Idol's label mates, the King of Monsters, Liam McCarthy, and the King of Goobers, Tig. Goober! Now, in one of his recent posts, Tig claimed that the label runs Square One. I can certainly agree that Liam McCarthy sends everyone at Square One running, with threats of violence, intimidation, or proctology. And Fido rightly sits at the top of the tree with his new big red belt. But with 0 wins from 21 attempts, Tig doesn't run Square One. He's not even reached Square One. And if the miracle were to happen at We Will Rock You, it's very unlikely to have anything to do with him or his cultured ways. So Superdors, spread your wings, break the duck, and Tig, and fly to victory with your new coach watching on. Sadly, I think it will be another one bites the dust for Tig. Attempt number 22 looks to be going the same way as the previous 21. Did I mention grudge matches? Well, this one isn't one of those, just yet. Friends will be friends until, with a flick of a wrist, they're not. We have former bros and pros, Samuel Spaniel, St Daniels, and Lincoln Spectre, Specteria, facing off to settle a little bad blood that has arisen recently. At Crowning Glory, Spectre tried to set his off teammate back on the straight and narrow after it looked like he was going to cross a line and use the square one belt as a weapon. And I think there's a feeling from SSD that intervention cost him that match and the title. Fast forward to the 12-year anniversary show, and these two were working seamlessly to stand nearly victorious in the Memorial Battle Royal. But things soon went from "we are the champions" in a flash to "you are a champion, Spectre," as SSD turned on the Dojo Bro. What Samu did next will be covered elsewhere, but suffice to say, the Square One fans at Barnwell, who have such fond memories of his prior exploits for their enjoyment, may not be as pleased to see him as they once were. It's late, but hopefully not too late for SSD to mend his ways, and for these former friends to reconcile. Otherwise, without Bart O'Connor to mediate, it may be time for the hammer to fall and shatter the professionals forever. And if that should happen, SSD will have to ask himself, was it all worth it? Now, it's a kind of magic whenever either of the next two performers hits the runway to the ring at Square One. So we are blessed at We Will Rock You to have not only the one of Square One, the sensational Shivoa, but the other one, Alexander Lockheart. Since crossing paths back at the second Square One Square Amble match back in July at Collateral Damage, the fans have been clamouring for a return match between these two, as the beatdown and the back chat before each sashayed away following Lincoln Spectre's victory went down an absolute storm. The Shivoa section will no doubt go absolutely wild, as the Stevenage superstar has established a massive following at the home of Square One. But Alexander unlocked some hearts too, with his charm and ring presence, so there's a very good chance the faithful could be split in their support. Who will have the staying power to outlast the other? Start your engines, let battle commence. I've been saying it forever, so please, don't stop me now. Tony Kyle is not to be trusted. Tony, you don't fool me, and you never will. You may seem to be a nice guy at times, fostering talent and training them, only to cut them down to size at the drop of a hat. From Rags all the way through to David Kaiser, you, the absolute maverick, have had only one vision in mind: your own ascent to the top at the expense of all others. Much like memes, you cover all the prizes, but whilst Mimo will only ever be the number one contender, you seem more likely to fulfill your mantra of "I want it all." But here's hoping otherwise. Here at We'll Rock You, there's a very real prospect of my wish coming true. Facing TK with his newly acquired legacy belt is none other than the man with the heart of a warrior and the skill set to match, the danger man, Denzel Mack. The show must go on for the recently deposed Square One champion, and DM will be looking to make a quick comeback to not only winning ways, but to holding gold again at UBW. Now, DM's legacy may not yet have the tenure of TK, but with a run where every single match he's had at UBW and Square One has been for a title, it's a certainty that Mack will be long remembered and admired in the same way that TK should not be. If your attitude is wrong, you'll always be the loser in the end, Tony. Right, well, what else is on offer? Well, it's time to bring your best hisses, as in addition to the Freddie Idol Square One celebration, there'll be a patty cakes party. Yes, the host of Sacrifice Pro Wrestling and United Wrestling is coming to Square One, so you are guaranteed a great time, far more than whatever the King of Goobers has got organised for his boss. Also scheduled to appear is Drip Drip, the Big Boy Baller, former Square One and current UBW Tag Team Champion, Harrison Leon. He may be facing the Invisible Man from what I've seen of the graphics, or perhaps he's just been hired to serenade the new holder of the big red belt. Either way, you know the fans are going to go absolutely insane when those baller bucks start flying. Right, I think I'm going slightly mad here in the Waffleshed on my own, so I can promise you we have a mega UBW roundup coming soon, with Claire the Nice One, Ben Dan Tom, and all the usual nonsense and innuendo. So, how many Queen tracks did you spot? I think I make it 37, but if I mention Bohemian Rhapsody now, I think that makes it 39. Until next time, SITKWTWO. Right, so there was me thinking I was doing all right and getting through everything that was on offer at We Will Rock You, and then there's a late announcement. Now, someday, one day, I'll get this done in one, but that day is not today, and the reason why are the voices in the head of a certain Big Wade. Since he dispensed with his former boss Vinnie Cray, he's been distracted by the presence of another UBW superstar in the form of Axeman Bunting. Now, Bunting's got to Wade several times, and most recently at Showdown in the Square, he did some damage, which means there may not be any more little Wades on the way. And since then, Wade has had one word going round and round and round in his head. So in order to get over the fixation that he has with Bunting, he's called him out, and the Axeman has answered, and there is a match at We'll Rock You, which is a repeat of the Square One Championship match from the UBW 11th anniversary show. Now, Wade is so incensed and so focused on meting out punishment on the Axeman. I think there's only one way that you can keep yourself alive, Mr. Bunting, and that's if you keep the axe close at hand. Now, barring any late announcements or subject to change, that's your card for UBW Square One We'll Rock You. I'll see you there at ringside, and until then, stay in the know with the WO. Bye!